now. Everywhere.
Yes, right from your Android or iPhone. Download the Radio K-Man app now on your Android or iOS phone.
The Radio K-Man app
is where you can listen to Radio K-Man everywhere you go.
Everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go, we go.
Find it in the Google Store, the Apple Store, or use the link at www.radiokman.gov.ky.
Yes, now you can listen to Radio K-Man everywhere.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And RF Group, money at work.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio K-Man Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees. So fair today is Friday, the 3rd day of December 2021, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. I hope and I trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please, please, please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road. Remember that by observing the rules of the road, using common sense, then the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday. Or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday to you as well. I want to give Inspector Tahal a big shout out for his birthday, and just to remind him that at some point in time he has to double his age or in miles on the bicycle as well. He shall not escape that requirement of the Daybreakers cycling group, that when it's your birthday, then you have to double your age in miles as well. And of course, there are some who will be celebrating birthdays over the weekend as well. And rather than having to wish them a belated happy birthday on Monday, God's willing, let's mention them today. So I'm told that Mr. Deal Ebanks, some of them refer to him as the gig man. If you know what a gig is, we're not talking in musical terms, a gig like a party, music party. No, we're talking about, I think, the American slang for it is called a top. We call it a gig. So I understand that Mr. Dealey Banks will be celebrating a birthday tomorrow. Also, Miss Donna Bryan, the mother of the Minister for Tourism and Transport, Honorable Kenneth Bryan, she will be celebrating a birthday tomorrow as well. And her granddaughter, Sienna, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Sienna Bryan, she will be celebrating a birthday on Sunday. So Happy birthday tomorrow for Mr. Dealey Banks and Miss Donna Bryan and her granddaughter Sienna on Sunday, celebrating a birthday as well. For those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to express our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing as well. Those of you who are ill, either at home or at a medical facility, we wish you a speedy recovery. We say to you and your families that you remain in our prayers, and we will continue to pray for you as well, and we encourage you also to keep the faith, hold the faith, keep the faith. Things can change. Miracles still do happen as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open, and you're welcome to call in. Waiting to take your calls this morning, radio voice of Silver Fox, Mr. Paul Akal. You can call us on our toll-free number provided, courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and the 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky. WhatsApp us, 925-3261, where you can send us a text message or leave us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And, of course, you can follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. Before I introduce my guests and go to the break, I want to share with you the COVID-19 update that was received yesterday 8 a.m., or that was issued yesterday at 8 a.m., the 2nd of December. And the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. John Lee, reported that 807 PCR tests had been conducted since 8 a.m. on Wednesday, the 1st of December. Public Health Department reported 120 positive results from these tests, all coming from the community. These results brought the number of active cases of COVID-19 in the Cayman Islands to 3,867 as at 8 a.m. on Thursday, the 2nd of December. The local number of cases recorded since the start of the pandemic stood at 7,444 as at that time. Also, up to that point on Thursday, 4,497 persons in the Cayman Islands were in isolation, either in government isolation facilities or at home. There were 14 COVID-19 patients hospitalized in the Cayman Islands at 8 a.m. on Thursday, the 2nd of December. This is highlighted. Officials also noted that there has been a 7th death from COVID-related causes since the last report. The Public Health Department also confirmed that up to 8 a.m. on Thursday, the 2nd of December, there had been 1,944 total positive lateral flow tests since the introduction of lateral flow test program in the Cayman Islands, which are included in the total positive numbers given above. So that is included in that total number of 3,867 as well. Also points out that as of 8 a.m. on Thursday, 2nd of December, Faith Hospital confirmed there were 14 active cases in the sister islands, with none identified in the previous 24 hours. To date, There had been 120 total cases recorded in the sister islands, with 106 having recovered. Out of the total number of cases in the sister islands, 62 were fully vaccinated, 6 were partially vaccinated, and 52 were unvaccinated as well. So we see the numbers dropping in Cayman Brac in the sister islands. Also appears as if the numbers may be dropping in the Cayman Islands, the Grand Cayman as well, and that is a good sign. That's an excellent sign for us. We just want to continue to encourage persons to ensure that you observe all of the safety protocols, all of the sanitary protocols as well. And of course, if you can be vaccinated, please go ahead and get vaccinated as well. Please, please, please ensure you do your part to prevent the spread of COVID-19. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, I will introduce my guests in the studio, and I won't tell you that. I'll hold that. That means that in order for you to know, you can't change that dial. So please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
James Renton Ebanks, 1895-1972. Uncle René, as he was affectionately called, began his career as a seaman when he was a young teenager, turtling at the Mosquito Keys. He later went on to the United States and joined the National Maritime Union in New York, began sailing on U.S.-flagged ships that took him to all parts of the world. During World War I and II, he traveled to many war zones, putting his life in danger many times. Whenever he returned home on vacation via Tampa, Florida, he would bring home cartons of groceries, which he shared with his family and neighbors. He was an avid fisherman and kept himself busy while he was home on vacation by fishing and tending his cattle. When he caught fish or killed a cow, he would always ensure that his extended family and his neighbors got their share of fish or beef. When he retired from sea, he continued his lifelong service to God as a member of the then Pilgrim Holiness Church. He was married to former Julita Ebanks and dearly loved his children and grandchildren.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Thank you, Cayman community, for leaning in to support the success of the 26th Rotary Central Music Extravaganza fundraiser event. Congratulations, lucky winners. Thank you, Radio Cayman, Cayman Turtle Center, Bon Vivant, Funky Tanks, Thai House Restaurant, Kirk Home Center, Kirk Office, Cox Lumber, A.L. Thompson's, Good Mood Food, Ala Kebabs, PD's Sports Bar and Grill, DMS Broadcasting, Uncle Bill's, Performers, Deja Vu, CNB, The Fabulous 68s, the Rotary Club of Cayman Brac, and every ticket seller, every ticket purchaser. Thank you for your supporting gifts, talents, and services. You are helping in service to change lives. Rotary Central thanks you.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamped Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch.
The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamt Motors, Walkers Road.
West Bay, home to Barkas National Park, the touristy flair, a family community, a political powerhouse. From sports enthusiasts to car aficionados, affection for silver thatch rope. No matter how far you may venture, West Bay will always be where the heart is. Home will always be in West Bay. West Bay Pharmacy, caring for your home and your family. West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient, quality care is just around the corner.
Had a look at those investment options yet? Too busy. Look at today. Workout, breakfast, take the kids to school, back-to-back meetings, take Pepper to the vet, and she's apparently got allergies now, so... And that was all before 12. But you look relaxed.
That's because my money's as busy as you.
With RF, you can access the best in local and international investments to keep your money busy, so you can spend more time focusing on you. Contact us at rfgroup.com to find out more. RF, money at work.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to announce that we have in the studio with me this morning none other than the Cabinet Secretary of the Cayman Islands, Mr. Samuel Rose. And I just want to warn you, if you think that he's going to be giving you any secrets about, what takes place in Cabinet and tell you what was last discussed in there, I'm sorry. You're not going to hear that. Not this morning. At least we're going to be talking about Cayman Thanksgiving, and despite what is happening around us, despite what is happening right here in the Cayman Islands, we still have so much to be thankful for as well. We have gone through another hurricane season again, and while we know that it may not be unusual for hurricanes to develop in the month of December, the official season has passed as well, and we had basically one strong system, and we saw what damage that could do in terms of those of you who have fruit trees and stuff like that. We saw what happened there. But so much CapSec for us to be thankful for in the Cayman Islands, but yet we complain. Morning, sir. Welcome back to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor, and thank you so much for this very warm welcome, and good morning to all of our listeners out there in Radio Land. And of course, it's not just in the Cayman Islands, but we have listeners all over all over the world.
Yep.
Our Caymanian diaspora spread out who enjoy listening to your show, sir. And I am one of those who enjoys listening to your show.
Thank you.
And it's a pleasure to be here this morning with you to talk about something that is near and dear to our heart. And thank you for that very important reminder. Yes, sir, we are indeed a most blessed people. And as we roll around to the first Sunday in December, once again, here we are, thankful, with so much to be thankful for. So, yes, Cayman Thanksgiving is happening. It always happens. It's been recognized by the government now for the past about 6-7 years now. Yes, you know, we encourage everyone to get together safely, because obviously this year we have to be extra careful, given that COVID is lurking around, but nothing still prevents you from, and your household, your loved ones, if you can safely get together, from pausing for a few moments over this weekend here, hopefully on Sunday if you can, and to cook a meal and to sit down and to reflect upon all the things that we have to be thankful for. It's a very simple model, and if you understand anything about the Cayman Islands history, and you understand where we come from, and you know your own family story, we know that, you know, it wasn't long ago when there wasn't electricity here, right? And I didn't have to live through the mosquitoes and the darkness, but, you know, I do appreciate where we come from and the journey we've been on as a people, and just the access to things like education. I mean, you know, I hear you and Ms. McField from time to time reflecting on the protests that parents had to make to ensure that their children got an education. You know, it's things like that you know we take for granted, and you know, the access to health care, the access to scholarships so our children can go overseas and study things. You know, we're just such a blessed community, and yes, things are not perfect for everybody, but I think everybody has something to be thankful for, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, so much, and you mentioned access to healthcare and all of those things, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that we have always had stable governments in the Cayman Islands. Yes. Not only stable governments, but we have had honest governments as well, irrespective of what, you know, people would, you know, may say and have derogatory comments about politicians and stuff like that. We have had honest governments that don't end up stealing money from the populace and put it in their own pockets, at least not in the obvious way that we see that we see in other countries. And as a result of that, we have had financial reserves. We have had the ability to move money from one place to the other to assist in whatever we have. And that all has to do with the type of government that we have and the type of politicians that we have in the Cayman Islands.
You're absolutely correct, sir. And as my mentor and predecessor as the first cabinet secretary in Cayman, you've had the privilege of sitting there and seeing what people deliberate over and what the struggles and you know, our people don't know what bad government looks like. They have no clue what kleptocracy looks like. Yes. They haven't visited some of the countries in around the world in the region where, you know, governments just don't care about their people. In fact, some of them just don't have anything to offer their people.
Exactly, yes.
You know, I won't try to hurt anyone's feelings this morning, but I visited countries, you know, and where there is virtually no central government, you know, and there's no ability for public services to be properly extended to communities. So when you see people walking and driving, hitching rides for a day and two to get down to a little clinic just to get a little Panadol. Wow. You know, I visited a clinic in a hospital in Haiti, and I asked, just out of interest, because I deal with type 1 diabetes in my home, and I asked, so do you have insulin? They say, yeah, we get it sometimes. And so I said, well, what do you mean sometimes? They said, we usually don't dispense it. I was like, why? He said, well, nobody has a fridge. Nobody has a fridge. So I said, so what happens to type 1 diabetic kids? The doctor looked at me and said, they die.
Wow.
Just like that, you know. So that put a lump in my throat, you know, because again, you know, here we are with refrigerators and most of us got deep freezers as well.
Yes,
too.
yeah, one or two,
you know, loaded down with conch and lobster and beef and vegetables and fruit, you know, you can't eat, you know. And there's just so many things we have to be thankful for, Mr. Connor, and it's so easy for us to focus, and rightfully so, on improving, you know, and making things better.
Oh, yeah, and keep people accountable.
And that's all important, but I think it's very important that we pause, we take that break sometimes and from the complaining, and we just focus on our blessings. And so that's why I'm here to spend a little time with you this morning. I know you're getting close to the news hour, so spend a little time with you this morning as we reflect on things we should be thankful for, and hopefully your listening audience will join us for a little call in and share what they are thankful for as well.
Precisely. So with that, Capsec, we're going to take a break because it's the top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. Folks, when we return, no cabinet secrets, but we will be talking about Cayman Thanksgiving and so much that we can be thankful for in the Cayman Islands. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Radio Cayman time check is now 8 a.m. This time check is brought to you by our friends at Foster's.
For Christmas, are you thinking roast turkey or glazed ham?
Ooh, let's go ham.
Great. Now for sides, let's do mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, and rice and beans.
Yum.
And for dessert, should we go apple or pumpkin pie?
Apple for sure. But when will you have the time to cook this feast?
Oh, I won't be cooking. I'm ordering a holiday dinner from Foster's. They start from just $79.99 and are easy to order online. Just head to fosters.ky.
Easy, delicious Christmas holiday dinners, only from Foster's.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. Are you aware of the performance of your pension plan? The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan provides quarterly fund fact sheets for our members to stay informed with the plan's performance. For the year ended 30th of April, 2021, the various life cycle funds have provided returns between 10.5% and 43.2%. And our all-in expense ratio for year ended 30th of June, 2020 is currently the lowest it's ever been. 0.72%. Visit chamberpension.ky to review our fund fact sheets. You can see the performance as far back as 10 years. Remember that pensions are a longer-term investment strategy. Focus on the long term rather than the short-term returns. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan continues to perform for you.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Island.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. In Parliament Thursday, government announced the rollout in 2022 of a new affordable residential land lot program created in response to major concerns raised by Caymanians across all three islands. Lands Minister, the Honourable Juliana O'Connor-Connolly, announced the new initiative in her contribution to the ongoing budget debate, during which she covered all highlights from her ministries in education, district administration, and lands and survey. This new scheme will focus on Caymanians who wish to own their own parcel of land to construct a house. The program will fill the gap for those who don't qualify for the affordable home program due to higher incomes than that scheme's threshold, but not high enough to purchase a home in today's market. This program will be in addition to government's plans to build 100 affordable homes per year. Parliament resumes later this morning, so make sure to tune into our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, to hear the proceedings live. Speaking of Parliament, on Thursday, the Premier offered congratulations to the people of Honduras on their electing their first female president, Xiomara Castro.
The reports of a high voter turnout, active engagement of civil society, and peaceful participation during voting are all welcome signs of the desire and commitment of the Honduran people to the democratic process.
Mr. Panton says the election of a female president is significant and points to the positive advancement of one of the most important nations to the peace, stability, and security of the Central American region. Elections in Honduras were held on November 28th. In COVID news, the average number of cases for the week of November 21st through the 27th was 108, down from 153 the week before. Chief Nursing Officer Dr. Hazel Brown tells CIG-TV a total of 754 cases were registered that week.
Of these, 55% were female, 45% were male. The age range was 6 weeks to 93 years with an average age of 32 years.
7 cases were in patients under the age of 1. 236 were in those under the age of 18. 20 were registered in folks over the age of 70. And finally,
Ashante Sterling.
On the heels of John Gray High School's graduation ceremony on Tuesday, the class of 2021 from Clifton Hunter High School crossed the stage Thursday evening. Due to COVID crowd restrictions, the ceremony at the Frank Sound campus was closed to parents and instead live streamed on the school's Facebook page and the CIG-TV YouTube channel. It was also shared on Radio Cayman's Facebook page. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
The BBC News with Jerry Smith. The Taliban have issued a decree calling for what it calls serious action to enforce women's rights in Afghanistan. The order says women should not be forced into marriage and also details property rights in the event that a woman is widowed. But there's no mention of employment rights or anything about education. Farmers in northern Kenya are losing vast numbers of livestock due to a severe drought which has lasted 9 months. A BBC correspondent saw distraught farmers struggling to save cattle that were too weak to stand up. The drought has affected vast swathes of the Horn of Africa region, including Somalia and southern Ethiopia. An independent review has concluded that crowd trouble at the Euro 2020 football final at Wembley in July marked a day of national shame for the host England. A total of 2,000 ticketless fans, described by the report as drunken and drugged-up thugs, forced their way into the stadium before and during the match. The disgraced former head of global athletics, Lamine Diack, has died at his home in Senegal. He was 88. Last year, a French court found the president of the IAAF guilty of accepting millions of dollars in bribes from Russian athletes who wanted to avoid punishment for failing drug tests. Austria's governing People's Party has named the current Interior Minister, Karl Nehammer, as its leader and the country's next Chancellor. The announcement follows the resignations on Thursday of both the party leader, Sebastian Kurz, who's been implicated in a corruption scandal, as well as his ally, Chancellor Alexander Schellenberg. A high-speed railway linking the landlocked nation of Laos with China has been officially opened. Costing $6 billion, mostly borrowed from China, it's the biggest infrastructure project ever undertaken in the country. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. News is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. We're a not-for-profit, member-centric plan with a democratically elected volunteer board of trustees representing all sectors of the Cayman Islands economy. Chamber Pension has an all-in expense ratio of 0.80%, over 16,000 members, and US $463.6 million in assets under management. We were the first multi-employer pension plan approved by the regulator in the late 1990s, and today we are still strong, secure, and are here for our employees and employers alike. If you would like to join or request further information, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
You can now register online to receive a securely verified digital copy of your COVID-19 vaccination status with QR code through the My HSA patient portal. Sign up is available online and at all HSA locations. All you need is your photo ID showing date of birth and an email address. Visit hsa.ky and click the My HSA Patient Portal icon to get started.
Park your car this New Year's Eve and ride the Purple Ribbon Bus. It's free. Be safe and drink responsibly.
Arrive alive 345. Take the pledge, designate a driver, or ride the Purple Ribbon Bus on New Year's Eve. This message is brought to you by the National Drug Council and Radio Cayman.
The 8:10 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we are more than an insurance company. We are family. To learn more about our first-in-class individual and group life, disability and accident solutions, please visit Pan American International Insurance Corporation at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Song Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304 and visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
Good morning, Cayman. Let's take a look at your latest weather. Compliments of our friends at Pan American Life Insurance. Present temperature 79 degrees Fahrenheit, but it feels like 83. Conditions are partly sunny. Winds are out of the east at 10 miles per hour. Relative humidity 83%. Last night's dew point was at 73. Barometric pressure is at 29.97 inches and dropping. Fresh northeasterly winds and rough seas will continue across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours in association with a high-pressure system building over the southeastern U.S. And further east, a surface trough southeast of Jamaica is expected to move south of the Cayman area tomorrow morning, supporting a few showers and possible thunder. So our forecast for today, partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of morning showers. Temperatures will rise to the mid-80s. Winds will be northeast at 15 to 20 knots. Seas will be rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet. Small craft should exercise caution over the open waters. And later this evening, partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall to the mid-70s. Winds will be northeast at 15 to 20 knots. Seas will be rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet. Small craft should continue to exercise caution over the open waters. We're presently in a low tide. High tide is coming up in the next hour at 9:12 a.m. It's going to be low at 3:15 this afternoon and high at 8:15 tonight. For tomorrow, low tide will be at 2:59 a.m., high at 9:58 a.m., low at 4:01 p.m., and high at 9:04 p.m. Sunset this Friday evening is at 5:45. Sunrise for Saturday at 6:45. The outlook is for a decrease in winds and seas from Sunday afternoon as the associated high-pressure system weakens over the central Atlantic Ocean. That, my friends, is your latest weather.
The 8:10 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we're more than just an insurance company, we're family. To learn more about our first-in-class group health and employee benefit solutions, please visit Pan American Life Insurance Company of the Cayman Islands at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Sound Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304. You can also visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Achieving your goals is a very rewarding feeling, but at times can feel very frustrating, especially if and when we miss our target. As you approach your goals in life, set yourself up for success.
When setting your goals, celebrate your progress. It's important to acknowledge progress each step of the way as you achieve your goals. Everything that you do to move in that direction gets you a little closer. Planning small rewards along the way can help to keep things interesting and give us a taste of what sweet success will be like.
Change your thinking and change your life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
All right, good morning, my friends. Let's take a look again at the traffic situation while you make your way into work. Kids already at school. Looking down at the Prospect area, east-west arterial Crichton Boulevard, the traffic has eased up considerably and moving. But of course, getting to the roundabout with traffic merging out of Prospect, expect some traffic there. Looking down at the COC roundabouts, got some traffic heading on to the Lidford Pearson Highway. Some slow-paced traffic as you make your way off of Shamrock Road or Crew Road, whichever way you're coming from. Similar, continuing on to Crew Road, expect traffic in that vicinity. Similar what's going through South Sound. Got some movement until Midway. Experience some traffic, slow-paced traffic, but is moving considerably. And once getting to Miss Lassie's house, those continuing on to Walker's Road until you get closer to the John Gray area, where you expect some traffic there as you continue northward towards Georgetown. Similar with South Church Street onto Seafarers Way. And those coming out of the West Bay area, some traffic on North Church Street into Seafarers Way, feeding into Edward Street, 4th Street, onto Shedden Road. Traffic is moving good. Similar with Eastern Avenue, Godfrey Dixon Way, looking busy at the moment. Of course, the Butterfield roundabout always busy with traffic in all directions. A little bit of northward bound traffic. Some traffic heading towards the east. Looking out at the Ritz-Carlton, some good traffic flow into the Georgetown area. Nice and moving considerably good. Heading towards the airport, very little traffic. Catch your flight this morning time. And of course, Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, very light traffic as well. So buckle up and stay safe. Once again, look out for those pedestrians, those on scooters, bicycles, motorbikes. Take your time. And of course, your traffic report brought to you by our good friends at Subway.
You see how hard it's raining?
Yeah, and I don't have time to fight traffic and get my lunch from Subway. I have so much work to do.
Why don't you order Subway by using the Let's Eat or Bento app? Save time, stay dry, and get your sandwich fast.
I never thought of that. Great idea. I'm going to order now.
Order me a veggie pizza while you're at it.
And a cookie platter for the office.
Too busy at work or home? Is the rainy weather stopping you from dining out? Order your favorite Subway sandwich, wrap, or pizza through the Let's Eat or Bento app with fast and reliable delivery. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
It's about time I upgrade my life.
Wait, you win money?
No, even better. I plan to pursue some CXC qualifications. Time to learn something new and earn a better salary.
Man, our CXC days done.
No, man, you can still get CXC qualifications through a private learning institution after you've left secondary school. Just visit cxc.org for their full list of exams and contact the Ministry of Education for registration details.
Explore your full potential with a qualification from CXC.
Thank you, Cayman community, for leaning in to support the success of the 26th Rotary Central Music Extravaganza fundraiser event. Congratulations, lucky winners. Thank you, Radio Cayman, Cayman Turtle Center, Bon Vivant, Funky Tangs, Thai House Restaurant, Kirk Home Center, Kirk Office, Cox Lumber, A.L. Thompson's, Good Mood Food, Ala Kebabs, PD's Sports Bar and Grill, DMS Broadcasting, Uncle Bill's, Performers, Deja Vu, CNB, The Fabulous 68s, the Rotary Club of Cayman Brac, and every ticket seller, every ticket purchaser. Thank you for your supporting gifts, talents, and services. You are helping in service to change lives. Rotary Central thanks you.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the Record with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, the Cabinet Secretary of the Cayman Islands, Mr. Samuel Rose. We're talking about Cayman Thanksgiving. So much for us to be thankful for. So at least this segment of For the Record this morning will be on a more positive, calmer note and topic in terms of Cayman Thanksgiving and, so many things that we have to be thankful for. And there are some people out there who are extremely thankful for family as well. Mr. Lennox Moxham over in the Brac and his wife Rosie, and they're sending out birthday greetings to Mr. Lennox's brother, Mr. Renard Moxham. We're advised that he's celebrating a birthday today as well, so I'm sure Tubbs is, Lord Graham is listening, I hope, as well. And so, Mr. Renard Moxham, happy birthday to you. But that acknowledgement is coming first and foremost from your brother, Lennox, and his wife, Rosie, over in the Brac as well. So, CapSec,
Yes,
we were talking about the various things in electricity, and off air I was pointing out to you that in December of 1966, we had a telephone system in the Cayman Islands that was inaugurated as well. So that was published on the 1st of December 1966 in the Trade Winds newspaper.
Wow.
And also that, at that time, the Caribbean Utilities Company, they were in the process of stepping up their substation and transmission lines and stuff like that in the Cayman Islands as well. So that was second construction phase, the installation of a new standby generator unit that would be operational by Christmas in the Cayman Islands, and of course we have seen Caribbean Utilities go from strength to strength in the Cayman Islands as far as the provision of electricity. And, with all of that, I'm going to not necessarily shake them up later on this morning, but there's an article in the Jamaica Gleaner yesterday, and it talks about the Jamaica Public Service Company Limited, which is going to be required to pay $220 $0.9 million to customers in breaches of the Office of Utilities Regulation guaranteed standards. So they didn't perform the way that they should have been performing, and cost customers, and because of their breach of that standard that they have set. So I was going to shake up off reg and see whether or not we have something similar in the Cayman Islands. We pay a premium price for telephone. We pay a premium price for water. We pay a premium price for electricity in the Cayman Islands. And do we really hold our utilities companies accountable enough to the the quality of care and service that they're to provide? But that'll come for within the next hour. We're going to talk about what we're thankful for instead. Over to you, Capsec.
Definitely, indeed. I mean, I think again, you visit places and there's some people that say, oh, at this time of the day, the water will go off or the power will go off, and there's guaranteed lockdowns and rationing and stuff like that. Yes. Again, we're blessed that we have steady service, from our service providers in that respect. Mm-hmm. And if we all recall, one of the premises on which we built Cayman Thanksgiving around is pausing, because there are not many things that we find that we all can agree with in Cayman. I mean, this is one of the most contrarian societies in the face of the earth. I mean, democracy is very much alive and well here. Yes, everybody has their opinions, and we have such a diverse population. So, we can't even enjoy talking about turtle meat, because you have some people say that's inhumane eating turtle meat, So everything, we rail about everything, Cayman Airways, you should spend your money on something else. Thank God we have Cayman Airways, So one of the things we thought we could all agree on is that if a hurricane season passes and you're still standing on the first Sunday in December, you should be thankful. And I haven't heard anybody yet, I haven't come across the curmudgeon yet who has said, oh, we need more hurricanes. I haven't encountered that individual. I'm sure they may exist, but God hasn't put me in the same room as them as yet. Yes. So, you recall how for a few days, some of our customers here were without power. We were for a few days after tropical storm Grace. Yes, mm-hmm. Grace was not very gracious at all, and it left us well shaken. We got a real good lick up. And if that, I will tell you personally, I am my philosophy is if it's a category 1, we'll be all right. If it's a tropical storm, we'll be all right, kind of a thing. And I think most of us, having gone through Ivan, that's our measuring stick. But there's a whole lot of damage can be done from a tropical storm, we have seen, and there's some people arguing that was no tropical storm, that was a hurricane. But whatever it was enough to uproot some of our beloved fruit trees and tear off some roofs and make life uncomfortable, without electricity and without services for quite a few days for a number of people, and it put our utility teams to full on to try and get it up and running again. So, here again, we have so much to be thankful for, and we didn't have to have our shelters piled up with people, filled up with people at the same time, and so we're super blessed. So, from that perspective as well.
Okay, tell our audience about the first Cayman Thanksgiving and how it came about, and how we have transitioned to where we are today, with it. I know on my cycling group, because it's December, and we have, the young bloods who they're out there for speed and stuff like that. So on Sunday morning when we leave, they will show a little bit of conscience, I would say.
Mercy.
And mercy on us until we get round about Moritz or maybe before then, and then they take off. Yeah. And of course we end up at the Jack's gas station in Old Man Bay.
Right.
But that's when I get to challenge them and say, okay, who's going out to the Cayman Kai? And not many of them want to go that direction because they're already burned out by then, okay? But I suggested last week, because we always do it sometime in December, why don't we get together and have breakfast?
That's
not
right.
realize, not being conscious at that point in time
Thanksgiving.
that it was, Cayman Thanksgiving. So I
That's
sent a
right.
WhatsApp message out a few days ago and say cycling is more than just speed and racing. The fellowship, the camaraderie, and everything as well. So I invited them to have breakfast at Over the Edge on Sunday morning. So instead of heading back home from Jack's gas station, go there. And then, of course, I put a little bit more into that. Someone then said, then we can ride out to Rum Point afterwards to ride the breakfast off. I said, no, a better suggestion than that. We can go the opposite way on Queens Highway and back around. And some of them, of course, cringe on that as well. But that's what we plan on doing on Sunday morning, with and we have so much as cyclists to be thankful for, because the roads of the Cayman Islands are extremely dangerous to cyclists, as well.
And that's what it's all about, Mr. Connor, and thank you for that. And it becomes special to us as individuals when we break bread and fellowship with those individuals who are special to us. And we consciously pause to give thanks. And I find you and your team, your crew, just amazing, and you all, the bravery you all show, and then the consistency in riding, getting up and riding in the mornings, and that's just incredible. And like you say, it's always special when you get together with people that you spend time with, who mean something to you, and you break bread and you talk and you reflect, and it started from the most humble of beginnings. My eldest daughter was around 8 or 9. And she goes to an American-based school, American system, and so they were talking about Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving. And I'll be honest with you, my mom has, for many years, has cooked American Thanksgiving meals, and what she would often do was invite some of the teachers and things from the school. My brother and I weren't too big fans of that sometimes now, but anyway, that's another story. She'd invite some of the teachers who were American and stuff, and say, well, they don't have nobody here with them, they don't have they're away from their families and stuff, and she would invite people over, and we grew up sharing and stuff, and so they were teaching them about American Thanksgiving in the school. And my daughter comes home and asks my wife, she says, well, Mom, do we have a Cayman Thanksgiving? And Alkie's like, no, we don't. I don't think so. And she said, why not? And as my wife often does, she said, go ask your father. So Casey came to me with a question, and I was like, we just don't, And she kept asking this little question, this is back in 2010. And she kept asking the question, why don't we have a Cayman Thanksgiving? And so I spoke to my wife and my wife and my mom and Faith Geely, who was our children's godmother. And I said, Casey's really onto this thing. She really wants something. What we can do for her, And they came up with this idea, well, let's just find things then. Let's cook a little meal for her. And as a family, we need to get together in any case. And as Faith was reminding me, we were blessing Naomi. We were having her dedicated and that Sunday, so a lot of the family is going to be together in any case. And they said, let's cook only things then. If we're going to do a Cayman Thanksgiving for Casey, let's only cook things that are grown or produced in Cayman.
Okay.
So I went to my favorite fisherman, Mr. P. Black, Mr. Ocean Leaving.
Yes.
And I went to Biggie's and I got some fresh beef, and we had pumpkins growing in the yard at the time, and everybody contributed what they had, and when we put that spread together, the aunts and my in-laws and my parents, and we put all that food on the table, and we looked at it, and we realized we had this epiphany that had the ship not come, had the plane not come, because that's always something that could happen after a hurricane, our ports could get blocked off, had the food from overseas not come, we would have been able to more or less enjoy that meal, because everything on the table was locally produced. And, you know, as my dad, my father-in-law sat there talking about olden days and talking about, you know, life and seamanship and, you know, just our history as a people. And we had a little music playing and stuff. And, you know, we all sat there and we just kept saying, oh, this is so special. This is such an amazing thing. It was just by happenstance because of a child's question.
Mm-hmm.
And we say, you know something, we need to share this with other people. And we started to, you know, talk about it more and say, you know, we should really peg this to the first Sunday in December. Because that's when we did it, you know, because of the hurricane season and stuff. And see, and then we went on a bit of a mission then after that to try and to we went on a campaign to try and get support for it. So we ended up talking to people like Shamari Scott, who was still at DOT, because we thought it could be a great catalyst for promoting our culture and heritage to people who are visiting, and also bringing Caymanians back home. You know, at that time of year, you know, because I'll be home for Thanksgiving. You know, it's a good time to come home. You know, and Pilar Bush, who was at the time at Atwater, she gave generously of her time in helping us to map out where we want to go. We had people like Shamila Berry or Antonia Spencer. We had so many people on board: Karen Thompson, Miss Carrie Forbes, Laura Young, Luigi Moxham, and just this little group of individuals, Kathy Jackson, you know, who Jude Scott got together as minds to try to build and create this thing, and so momentum took off from there.
Okay, we're going to keep the audience in suspense because we want to talk more about that and talk about the official recognition of it, government coming on board and assisting as well. So, folks, we're going to continue our conversation about Cayman Thanksgiving as soon as we return from this commercial break. When we return, we want to hear from you too. What is it that you're thankful for? Or if it isn't for this Cayman Thanksgiving, what would you like to be thankful for the next Cayman Thanksgiving if you're around as well? So please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Had a look at those investment options yet? Too busy. Look at today. Workout, breakfast, take the kids to school, back-to-back meetings, take Pepper to the vet, and she's apparently got allergies now, so... And that was all before 12. But you look relaxed. That's because my money's as busy as you.
With RF, you can access the best in local and international investments to keep your money busy, so you can spend more time focusing on you. Contact us at rfgroup.com to find out more. RF, money at work.
Are you feeling sick, but don't feel ill enough to go to the doctor? Ask your pharmacist for advice. Here at West Bay Pharmacy, our pharmacists have been trained to offer helpful, easy-to-understand advice on the treatment of everyday minor ailments for yourself and all the family. Anything from headaches, cough and sore throat, to cold sores, our pharmacists will know when medical help is needed and will not hesitate to refer you to your doctor if your symptoms demand it. Like doctors, our pharmacists have a professional code, which means all personal information you give them will be treated in the strictest confidence. Visit us today at West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
The community is reminded to ensure the proper disposal of used LFT kits. Place the used LFT and all items into the marked bag with the biohazard yellow triangle symbol provided with the kit, and then discard in the garbage bin. For more information on waste disposal tips, visit the DEH website at www.deh.gov.ky or their Facebook page or call 949-6696.
Water Authority Cayman wishes to advise its valued customers that its offices will close early today for a staff function. In Grand Cayman, cashiers will close at 10:30 a.m. and customer service will close at 11:30 a.m. In Cayman Brac, the cashier will close at 12 p.m. and water deliveries will stop at 1 p.m. Any trucked water orders received before the office closure that are not delivered on Friday will be carried over to Saturday, 4th December or Monday, 6th December. Customers in Cayman Brac are encouraged to plan ahead. The Water Authority appreciates the patience and understanding of its customers and apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Cabinet Secretary of the Cayman Islands, Mr. Samuel Rose. We're talking about Cayman Thanksgiving, and we have so much to be thankful for in the Cayman Islands. We do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Moderator, and good morning to Big Rose there.
Good morning. Your ear must have been ringing.
Yeah. I hear you forcing me to call Renard or send him greetings. Boy, listen, he might be expecting something. I'm staying far from him today. Yeah. But it's so nice to hear you guys on. This is, to me, this touches me real personal. To hear you, OCN, and my good friend Big Rose on there this morning. We should have more of this, what you guys are doing right now. And, we try to keep us together by meeting various places. Rose, we do it on Sunday morning, and very often we do it at my place.
That's right.
And we all together, and so often we come up or see behind your house, and we not got the direct access to all the mango trees. So I notice you pick the mango and have them waiting for us. We can't just roam through the trees like how I would like to do. Right? But it's good that we can all get together, and I think we should do more of this.
Yes.
And because if you notice, everything that are traditionally Cayman are going down, and everything that is promoted by the expat are going up. We can't even have a traditional bonfire anymore, in like how Eastern used to do. Was all my life I knew that. Now we can't do that no more because some guy came off the plane and said we shouldn't build a bonfire in the sea or something. So I remember when the first Cayman Thanksgiving was held. It was such a major event down there on the beach.
That's right.
Pageant Beach. That was major. And it kind of like fading out, in my opinion. I think the budget that just was debated, money for things like that should be into that budget, those budgets. Things like Cayman Tank. This is us. Come on. We need to promote ourselves because it don't seem like nobody else want to promote us. So if we can spend the money, the Cayman people money on other things, I think we should spend it on our culture and keeping our culture alive, because if we don't, nobody else is going to promote it. So I'm so happy to hear you and Big Rose on there this morning. So I'll continue listening. Doing a good job, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Mr.
Tubbs.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Over to you, Capsec.
No, I just wanted to acknowledge Mr. Rankin. He is all things Cayman.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And I think he bleeds the coat of arms. He doesn't bleed regular blood. But that first year, so 2011, then we launched Cayman Thanksgiving to the community, and I think the big hook that everybody remembers was the homecoming concert down by Pageant Beach. It really was spectacular, and you can't have anything spectacular in Cayman unless Graham does fireworks. So the kicked off with his fireworks show, and I remember that moment, seeing those fireworks go up in the air, and I said to myself, "Wow, this is actually happening," and the highlight for everyone was getting to see MOJ perform on the stage. That was certainly the highlight for me, and sadly it turned out to be their final public performance. It was their
Memory of Justice.
Yes, Memory of Justice. But again, the pride and the joy that Caymanians should have in their culture and identity. And the beauty of it is we don't know when we're going to have a quote-unquote Independence Day. We've all seen Barbados this week become a republic and waving their flags and all excited.
Yes.
You know, there really isn't a holiday that zeroes in on Cayman's culture and our identity as Cayman. And so, you know, we have everyone here celebrates American Thanksgiving. We celebrate Cinco de Mayo. We celebrate St. Patrick's Day. We celebrate Canadian Thanksgiving. We acknowledge all these things because of our diversity, and we dive into other people's culture. But what day do other people dive into ours?
Yes.
And so, you know, the one thing that we are very clear on, and that's our culinary heritage. And so Cayman Thanksgiving ties people back into, you know, encourages the expat who is here working for 2-3 years to try a Caymanian recipe. Or what we used to do as Caymanians very well, we used to invite people into our homes. And so the cultural assimilation that occurred was because, you know, your children went to school with someone said, "Mommy, I want this person to come over," and they'd come over and play, and then you'd feed them whatever you had in your stove. So when you talk to the kids of expats who came to Cayman in the 70s and the 80s,
yes.
right? They all eat turtle, they all eat, you know, conch, they all eat because they that's what they sat down and the grandmothers fed them, you know. That's what it's all about, sharing our heritage.
Sure. We have 2 callers on hold. We're going to grab one caller first, Paul, take the commercial break, and then grab the other caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Orrett. Good morning to Mr. Rose.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, we got a lot to be thankful for. We're going to give God a lot of thanks.
Amen.
I too sentiment what that last caller just said. I mean, if you got any more to it, the same thing. But like you said, I think that, you know, we just like the rest of the world, we can, or like the U.S., we can actually do it as a holiday because we got a lot to be thankful for. And like Miss Charlene, I call her name again. But, you know, she always says that the seafarers need a holiday.
Yes.
Because, and we could expand into that holiday because they are our forefathers, and we got so much to be thankful for what they have put us where we are today. And that could be, you know, arranged, you know, to make that a yearly holiday, you know, in celebration of them too.
Yes.
That's a lot to be thankful for because, as I said, we got so much to be thankful for. I mean, I was listening to the news this morning, and they were talking about where, I think it's Africa, where the cows are actually dying over there now for lack of a drought that's been there for 9 months. Thank God. I mean, we haven't had nothing like that. And we've had droughts, but nothing compared to that.
Yes.
At least, thank God, you know, we got other resources that we can turn to. Some of them don't even have that kind of resources.
Correct.
And like Rose said about the cows and, you know, dying and everything. So, and I mean, people in Haiti that don't even have a fridge.
That's right.
I was telling my grandson dropping into school, I said, you just hear that gentleman, you hear what he said. He went over there and he visited Haiti. And the children are dying because they don't have a fridge to store their medication. The people are dying. So we have so much to be thankful for.
That's right. Amen.
Okay, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We still have 2 callers on hold. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to ask those callers, don't hang up, hang in there. As soon as we return, we will take your calls, so please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamped Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamped Motors, Walkers Road.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab. Blood test, x-ray and mammogram, all of that is MedLab. Affordable fees and friendly service, a full professional team. MedLab is always comfortable, MedLab is always clean. For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Call 949-7331 and ask about MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
The technology sector is forecast to be one of the fastest growing industries in the next decade, with more jobs available than skilled people to fill them. Enterprise Cayman is helping to fill this void and grow the next generation of Caymanian innovators, giving young people access to high-quality learning experiences with the opportunity to pursue careers in technology and innovation sectors. Learn to code, how product development works, enter professional competitions, access high-tech resources, network with special economic zone industry professionals, and much, much more. Visit enterprisecayman.ky to find out more. Brought to you by Cayman Enterprise City.
Shopping local just got tastier. Save the date, Saturday, December 11th. Pure Art Gallery and Gifts. Treats for shoppers. Indulge in your island favorite Tortuga cakes and treats for the kids. Gorgeous local jewelry, household items, paintings, prints, ornaments. Perfect for that secret Santa gift. And to all of the island Santas shopping for Mrs. Claus, couldn't be any easier. The charming Cayman Cottage, Pure Art Gallery and Gifts on South Church Street is open 9 to 5, Monday through Saturday for your holiday shopping in Grand Cayman.
It's big, it's hot, and it's sizzling. Take 25% off all fabrics at Super Stitch Fabrics. 3 days only. Thursday, December 2nd, Friday, December 3rd, and Saturday, December 4th. Fabric for dresses, fabric for skirts, fabric for blouses. Super Stitch even has fabric to cover your chairs and your what's it not. No, me what's it not. It's the biggest fabric clearance of the year, so don't miss it. 25% off all fabrics. Super Stitch, your one-stop household store at 39 Pasador Place, Smith Road, still offering the best prices in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
For the record with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Cabinet Secretary Mr. Samuel Rose. We're talking about Cayman Thanksgiving. Started in Cayman in 2010, prompting from his daughter, young daughter, at the time. And that's where, we get the questions that are asked, the curiosity. And out of that curiosity, something big can emanate from that as well. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O.C. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine, sir. How are you?
And I want to speak to that young man next there to you, man.
Right here, right here.
Good morning, sir.
How are you? Yeah. Listen, I agree with my good friend. I don't know, me and him still good friends. I guess so. We work in the force together as well. But I want to agree with him about, the Thanksgiving and putting Caymanians first, because I realize a lot of time that I hear several people come on the radio, foreign people, and asking for funds to promote their business. But the Caymanians, we were always kind of bashful, asking for funds and stuff like that. But I remember the first Thanksgiving as well, and
yes,
I want to say that the musicians in Cayman, they were very, very, very good bands in Cayman.
Indeed.
I remember when Mr. Solomon, Denver Solomon, he used to run a club there called Faces.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember that. The
Yes, yes.
We used to work there a lot. He used to bring in people from overseas, because I worked with Big Al Downey and a lot of those guys, and stuff like that. But Thanksgiving, Caymanians should, and I know a lot of them do, give thanks every day, because we were blessed in Cayman, and we don't realize how blessed we are until you go overseas and see the condition of how other people are living.
Correct.
And there's people I know that go to bed in the night and wake up in the morning that don't even say, Lord, thank you for another day. But, Cayman has always been blessed, and that came from our older folks. The Cayman Islands grew on Christian values.
Yes.
And the people that are coming here are bringing their culture here. And that is what upsets me. You come to Rome, Caymanians, we sailed all over the world many years ago. And when we went, we kept our mouth shut. We kept our mouth shut, and we got along with everybody. But I noticed now that people are coming into the island and demanding and making us change our way of living, and that's not right, you know. But I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And you know, Mr. Rose,
yes,
I'm doing some writing music now again, and
wonderful.
I'm doing something that I'm gonna get me and Lama to do it.
Oh, you're a good friend. You're a good buddy, Lam.
You know? Yeah, because I remember Lam good. You know, he reminded me a lot of stuff. He said he remembered the first guitar that he bought from me. I didn't remember that.
My goodness. Well, Lam doesn't forget anything. Lam's memory is amazing.
I admire Lam so much, man, more than you realize, because I remember in the days, you know, we used to stay in town there, right there by the
Sound Road,
the street there, and Shaden Road there. And I remember going in the evening. I used to be going to practice with my band that I was playing with, and he would call me and say to me, he said, "George, show me something." And I know that Lam is a very honest man, and he will tell you the first notes that he learned was the song called Sloopy.
Okay.
Remember that song? Ask him when you see him again.
Oh, yes.
That's what the first notes that I showed him. And he recognized that, you know, and he appreciated that. But watch where he came.
Yes.
Watch where he came from.
Yes.
And I can say Lam is a way better musician than I am. And I've been in it a long time, you know. But, you know, I want to say a happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And Mr. O.C., you know what I'm talking about, Mr.
Certainly.
Connor.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Rose?
Yes, Brother George.
Behave yourself.
All right.
Thank you for the call.
We have 3 callers queued up. We're going to try to see how many we can take before headline news. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O.C.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm very good. Good morning there, Big Rose.
That's Graham's name for me. That means my brother, Small Rose.
Okay. Well, you know, when you get to be a certain age, whatever comes to your mind, you got to say that first before you forget it. And I was listening to Big Rose talking about we don't have a holiday and we don't have nothing to commemorate and all that kind of thing. And it brought to mind that every time I was on the radio, a certain caller would call in. We need a Seafarers Day holiday. Maybe it's time for that. I had to get that off.
Yeah. You'll get no objection from me, sir.
Right. Same here. Same here. We'll push for it.
All right. As far as the Thanksgiving goes, it's really good to listen and hear about the history of it with your daughter, Sam.
Yes, sir.
If you recall, when I was in the States some months ago,
yes, sir.
Your class of whatever date it was, I don't know.
96. 96.
Anyway, it was 25 years or something.
25 years, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And I was able to listen virtually with you guys, and of course your good friend, my daughter.
Yes, Krista.
She's like Lamy. She never forgets nothing. This young lady has a memory that is unbelievable.
Yes.
I mean, she remembers everything.
Yes,
and she knows how to write it down, you know. Well, I guess she took that after her grandmother, because my mother was like that. But I would like to say that we really, and I agree with all the other callers, we really need to upkeep our own culture rather than other people's culture. I mean, well, I grew up in Jamaica, as you know, but I was living in Jamaica at the time when they got independence, and all the time after that, we celebrated big time.
Correct.
There's nothing wrong with that, but the way it's portrayed here is it's our Independence Day instead of Jamaica's, you know. But I would certainly like to thank you and your daughter for initiating. I always say about founders, you know. I couldn't do it, but I'm glad that somebody else did it.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. No, thank you, sir.
And I'm sure that it will continue, and I wish you guys all the best. And so see, we have to get together and talk a little bit.
Definitely.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, Mr.
Thank you very much.
Dennison. We're
Have a great weekend.
I'm thankful you're back as well too. We know you were away for so many months, so it's good to have you back on the rock. And we know that you were obviously, taking care of some important family matters. But it's good to have you home, sir. We're thankful for all our seafarers, especially, and what you all represent for us as Caymanian people.
Certainly.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you, Big Sam.
Okay.
All right, sir. Take care.
Be safe as well. Top of the hour, headline news, 9 o'clock. We do have callers on hold. This headline news is very short, so don't hang the phone up, because we will be back very, very shortly.
From district to district, moving through the waters to Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Your station, your voice. All things Cayman. One radio, many people. This is home.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
Everywhere.
Can you hear me now? Everywhere. Everywhere.
Yes, right from your Android or iPhone. Download the Radio Cayman app now on your Android or iOS phone.
The Radio Cayman app
is where you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere you go.
Everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go, we go.
Find it in the Google Store, the Apple Store, or use the link at www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Yes, now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice. Local, regional, international. This is headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
On Thursday, government reported 120 new cases of COVID-19 and one additional death. As of 8 a.m., there were 3,867 active cases, 14 of those in the Sister Islands, just under 4,500 people in isolation. The additional death noted on Thursday brings the total since the start of the pandemic in March 2020 to 7. The number of countries detecting the Omicron variant is, quote, increasing daily, according to the World Health Organization. Its geographic distribution is, quote, likely already wider than currently reported, and nations must prepare for potential new surges. But scientists say it's still too early to say if the variant causes more serious illness. The U.S. has meanwhile unveiled stricter travel rules after confirming a handful of Omicron cases. Separately, a UK trial of 7 different jabs finds that Pfizer and Moderna vaccines give the best overall booster protection. And a review finds the risk of catching COVID remains higher for people belonging to certain ethnic groups. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matter. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Cabinet Secretary of the Cayman Islands, Mr. Samuel Rose. He's going to be with us until around about 9:30. So let's get all those calls in before 9:30 as well. And as a result, we're going straight back to the phone lines as we promised. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, Mr. Connor. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Yes, sir. Thanks for taking my call. Good morning to Mr. Rose.
Good morning. Good morning.
I just want to express my gratitude for this initiative, the idea. Thanks for that. Mr. Connor, I think Mr. Rose quite discussed a matter with some diplomacy that you could probably consider talking about in the future. Shows the danger of multiculturalism. That's the first point. The second point is, I think the important question that we should ponder during this time is, to whom are we thankful?
Yes.
And to whom are we thankful? Because we could sometimes get caught up, rightly so, in what we're thankful for. But to whom are we thankful? The Simpsons, Bart Simpson, he was asked to pray, and he said, "Dear God, we paid for all this stuff. Thanks for nothing." And
fantastic. What an example.
I believe that we all talk about, Caymanian is losing this culture. We have to ask, are we responsible for that? The poorer countries, when they strike oil, we have a term, we call it the resource curse. Have we become so successful that we no longer want to mingle with other Caymanians? Oh, look at why I don't need you. Yeah. So during this time, yes, be thankful. Let's talk about the what, but to whom are we thankful?
Correct.
And let's make sure that we play our role in continuing this culture. It's not merely the government have a role in it, but we, the people, also have a role.
Oh, man.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very
so
much.
much. Oh, man. You said a lot.
Yep.
You said a lot.
Well, Capsack, I'm going to ask you, that story that you told me off air, I'm going to ask you to share because that fits right in with that caller, but we're going to grab two more callers that we have first. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor, and to your panel.
Good morning. Good morning.
My name is Blake Hurston. I'd like to throw my support in for what Sam and all the people who were involved in coming up with the Cayman Thanksgiving idea.
Thank you, Brother Blake.
We should be, I agree with all you were saying, and others were saying, we should be promoting ourselves, which is a difficult thing for Caymanians to do because everything we did, our forefathers did for survival, we did great things, but they didn't talk about it.
Yes.
That's just part of our culture.
Yes.
But I think we have to come out of our shell, and we have to promote our culture and make people say that we have a culture, we have a history, and we have a foundation. And I apologize for missing the two last events, Sam. I was off island. But anytime you need me for anything, you can call me.
Oh, the Backbeat has been there for us, helping us many years, and Backbeat has livened up our farmers markets and stuff. But obviously, the last 2 years have been a little different. So this year and the previous year, we've kind of scaled everything back because we didn't want to promote crowds and that kind of a thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
But thank you, Brother Blake, for your support and the music plays such an important part in our culture, our identity as Caymanians, and for all that you and Chuck and Renee and Asta do, it's just I deeply appreciate you guys. I really do, and your faithfulness in supporting all causes Caymanian. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you as well. So,
thank you, brother.
Continue your good work, and like I say, when you need for anything, it don't have to be just music.
That's right.
You have to make some phone calls or whatever. Call me up.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Blake. Thank you.
Take care. Please stay safe.
Good. Have a great day, Blakey.
Let's grab next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Very good. Good morning.
Good morning.
Jeffrey Woods here.
Yes, Mr. Woods.
I too would like to join in and say thanks to Dec3rd for bringing up about the holiday for seafarers.
Yes.
Because I think we should recognize them.
Yes.
I mean, they have done so much to put us where we are today. So I give thanks for that, and I also give thanks for spared life on a whole, because Cayman is blessed.
Yes.
And I thank your daughter so much for bringing that USA to the forefront. Also, I must tell you, I love Swanky.
Thank you, Mr. Jeffrey.
and especially the song you wrote about Swanky.
Mix my swanky with brown sugar.
Yeah. It brings back so much memories of yesteryear.
Yes, sir.
And, the group, I mean, my grandfather used to play the fiddle as well. And
oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yes, he was a very good fiddle player.
Oh, wow.
My wife is like your mom.
Yes.
She's a musician.
Oh, I know that. She's brilliant.
Yes, she plays
everything.
And teaches over 14 instruments.
That's right. Wow. Yeah.
So I know where the music comes from, and then our family again is musical. My nephews and nieces, they sing,
and they learn the violin as well too. Some of them, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
My wife actually taught them.
Correct.
And now my son, he plays the guitar. Well, actually, I can't say play the guitar. He can make it talk, sing, and dance. Oh my goodness, he is awesome.
Well, we should have the Woods Kitchen Band because you have so much musicians there, right there. You have all the elements. You got the fiddlers, you got the guitarists, And I'm sure you can scrape that grader. Yeah? That's right.
Michael, my son, plays the saxophone.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. But anyway, keep up the good works. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, Mr.
Not
Jeffrey.
only in the music, but in your work as well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. And happy Thanksgiving to you all.
Thanks, and you too.
Thank you very much, caller. Have a great weekend. Please stay safe as well. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. Good morning, Mr. Rose.
Good morning.
I'd like to add my gratitude to Swanky and its footprints of legendary that it's establishing. Thanksgiving as a holiday is a very great suggestion, woven into our maritime heritage, because I think it would emerge as one of the first holidays that would be synthetically and genetically Caymanian in its true sense. I may be mistaken, but I do believe so. It is time for us to place in forever monument our maritime heritage because of its significance to and relevance to where we are today. Mm-hmm. And we are standing on the shoulders of giants of the past who have done more than their share to make us enjoy what we enjoy today.
Yes.
There is much to be synthesized in this Thanksgiving fabric, and all the callers prior to me have provided some very, very salient points. Mr. Graham, you know, to understand that our patriotism needs to come to the surface, and we need to acknowledge us for our accents, our cultural values, and our cultural fingerprint, which is different than anybody else, regardless of our square footage in terms of landmass.
Correct.
The Cayman Islands has been very, very definitive in its contribution to the Caribbean and to the region and to the world by its maritime heritage. And our respect for our Creator and our respect for the weather.
Yes.
And all of those things are interwoven. Hurricane seasons affect how we survived maritimely. We are in Thanksgiving whenever it eases up, but we are also in gratitude to what the sea has been able to provide us as a country and as a community going way back in generations, in terms of its commercial value, its leisure, and its living. So I thank your daughter from the mouth of babes.
Yes.
And the Bible is very, very correct in enabling us to have an understanding, to lend an ear to little ones who have voices of clarity.
That's right.
And thank you for listening, because we do have a problem with listening to our little ones. And I can assure you, our little ones are a lot more eruditely tuned to all that's happening around them and how it affects them.
Yes.
So Thanksgiving for our for what we have in nature, and it's important for us to be able to balance how we treat nature.
Yes.
And how we preserve this community.
Correct.
In the light of the fact that if we continue on the current path of climate challenge, our island nations will be in the crossroads of survivability. So
correct.
We do have a lot to be thankful for.
Indeed.
We have a lot to be thankful for Mr. Rose's very important idea that has blossomed into something wonderful. And I'm thankful that you have the youth to be able to see it for the next 75 years easily. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Important
thank you.
Dec3rd.
Thank you so much, Mr. Brown. Thank you.
Okay,
God bless
you. Thank you very much, caller, for that. Any more callers on hold? Okay. So what we'll do, we're going to take a commercial break now, Paul, and when we return, we're going to have the Cabinet Secretary link up a story about an educational institution here in the Cayman Islands with what one of our callers talk about. You know, who are we thankful to?
That's right.
As well.
Absolutely.
And about also our heritage and retaining that. So, folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay.
No one can stop me when I taste the feel.
Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamp Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamp Motors, Walkers Road.
The Ministry of Education invites eligible Caymanians to apply for overseas government scholarships for the 2022-2023 academic year. To apply for an overseas government scholarship or learn more about the various scholarship programs, please visit the recently upgraded scholarship application portal at www.moescholarships.gov.ky. Applications close on Monday, 31st of January, 2022.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Cabinet Secretary of the Cayman Islands, Mr. Samuel Rose. And for those of you who are familiar with our Constitution and those of you who are maybe unfamiliar with some sections or portions of our Constitution, the post of Cabinet Secretary in our Constitution, the Constitution requires that the person holding the post of Cabinet Secretary must be Caymanian.
Yes.
So, Caymanian, Cabinet Secretary, Mr. Samuel Rose as well. Mr. Cabinet Secretary, we have a question, and I'll read it now for you to ponder on it later because we do have a few callers on hold still, or who have called in. And the person wants to know what act of kindness has made the greatest difference in your life. And I think you said to me, I'm going to have to answer that.
Don't leave me alone. You're going to have to answer that. Right.
So we're going to answer that before the show is over as well. But meanwhile, let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine. How are you?
Well, I'm recovering. I'm good. Mr. Lewis.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
My midfielder.
How are you doing this morning, sir?
I hear.
Good.
Yeah. Just taking the time.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's a good idea, though. I think we should all get together, like you said, because we're losing our culture and stuff.
Yes.
It's a good idea. What you're doing. I know you was always a person like that, so. But I hear talking about something about the greater thing. I don't want to take that away from my auntie,
I know, man. It's another band, man. I try to get another band started because we need some other people keep it going. So, yeah.
Don't take her out of it, all right?
Oh, no.
I will have to stop being in that party in the morning. All right?
No, you can't take the brown sugar out of Swanky and your dear Aunt Miss Paula. is a brown sugar in Swanky Kitchen Band.
I will support you all at any time because I love what you all did when you all went away overseas. Was it Barbados?
Oh, we've been all over. We've been Barbados, we've been England, we've been New York, we've been Panama, we've been Cayman Brac. All
did
over.
A wonderful job. You did a wonderful job in Barbados. So
thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, my brother.
Any man that God bless, no man curse.
Amen.
Yeah.
Respect, Mr. Scott.
We'll see. Let's take it easy on the road and
yes,
more often again. I had to ease off sometimes because sometimes I when I come with positive things, not negative things.
But it's good to hear your voice, and
so I just ease off for a while, you know.
Well, good to hear your voice, and you are entitled to express your opinion. Some people may agree with it, some they may not agree with it, but I think what we all agree on at the end of the day, that you're entitled to it and you're entitled to express it.
All right.
You take care.
Have a wonderful weekend, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much.
God bless you. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Yes.
Bessie is wonderful. Okay. Wonderful. Blessed island.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, we're going to grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Ossie, and good morning, Samuel Rose. It's good to connect with you two after a long time. This is Billy Simamba here.
Good morning.
Great
to
hear
Billy.
you, Mr. Billy.
Good morning. I just thought that, you see, as a non-Caymanian but who appreciates the culture in every jurisdiction, I might weigh in a little bit on the program. The program, by the way, today is, I guess you could call it a tale of Caymanian culture. But in my book, it is also a tale of two cabinet secretaries. So it's very nice to see that. Yeah. Now, I just thought that in terms of Caymanian culture, I think there's a need to do more. It's very good that this holiday was developed, and there's a nice story that goes behind developing it. I think it's great. But from a lot of what my Caymanian friends have told me, there's a lot more that needs to be done in the schools.
Indeed.
You see, coming from Africa, we had a little bit more scope to develop things after independence. And we have a day, for example, called Africa Freedom Day.
Wow.
Africa Freedom Day, the national radio and TV stations, they play every speech you can ever imagine, from Malcolm X to Martin Luther King to Gandhi to the African leaders, even a few times people from the Caribbean, but also not just the politics, but also the culture.
Yes.
And I think that's where Cayman needs to look at this. There is a need for government to consider, maybe with a private partnership, to have a national radio station. It might not do exclusively local content, but do maybe about 50% local content, because that will help to really get the kids to listen to certain things, even if they are not planning to listen to them. I think it's sad that the other radio station went under. I think the government needs to fill that void and be able to sort of continue working towards that culture. I just thought I might want to share that this morning. It has been very good. I've been listening from the very beginning. It's been great that you're talking about this now.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Billy.
Thanks very much.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Thank you very much, Billy, for that as well. And you must give a big shout out to the staff of Radio Cayman. Of course, they fall under the purview of the Cabinet Secretary, as well. So big up to the staff of Radio Cayman, because they always step up to the plate. Correct. And yes, if a void needs to be filled, there are people who say that my show should be on 5 days a week. I'm not sure that I can manage five days a week, but something to consider. If there's a demand out there, yes, then we need to fill that demand, especially when it is a positive one as well. So, CapSec,
yes,
the question that was raised by our listener. In terms of what it is that
act of kindness,
act of kindness has made the greatest difference in your life?
Well, Mr. Connor, that's a very profound question, and it really made me have to dig deep, to go inside, and I can kind of be an autopilot for a lot of the things for Cayman Thanksgiving, because I've been doing this for 11 years now. We've been rolling around with this now. But in reflecting on that question, I hearken back to whom I am thankful. And, you know, the ultimate source of all of the blessings that we enjoy, according to my belief structure and the belief structure of many people in the Cayman Islands and the Caribbean, is that, you know, it comes from Almighty God, our Heavenly Father. And this community is a praying community, and I am a product of prayer. Many people don't know that my mom wasn't supposed to be able to have children. And, you know, the doctors told you probably will never have kids. And my mother and father had individuals praying with them and praying for them constantly. And, you know, at the top of that list are two beloved ladies who have now gone on to glory, Ms. Olga Adam and Mrs. Jerry McTaggart, who just passed away, Geraldine McTaggart, Jerry McTaggart, and a host of others, you know, who used to constantly pray with them and pray for them that they would have children. And from the time of our arrival on earth, I know that there have been individuals who pray for us almost every day. And I've been blessed with a wonderful set of parents. I couldn't ask for a better set of parents, my mom and my dad, who pray for us every day. But in addition, there's surrogate mothers. I have mothers in every district, literally, you know, and people who love my brothers and I and my family who pray for us. And when they say they're praying for you, they mean that, sir.
Oh, yes.
And I am a product of prayer. So I know that sometimes you take for granted that there are people in this world who have no one praying for them. No one who's saying, you know, God, protect this person. Lord, give this person wisdom. Put the right person in their life. And I've literally walked around with a little image of a little bucket or a little lamp, and everywhere I go there's someone pouring oil into my lamp and to keep me burning. So whatever I accomplish in life, whatever blessings I receive in life, I don't discount the power of not only my parents' prayers, but if I start to name some of those ladies, I know I will start to cry, because, you know, they mean so much to me. But some of them include Miss Ginger Solomon, Miss Deanna Whitaker, Miss Dolly, Miss Choke, Miss Ellen Piguero. And there's just no shortage of names, but these individuals have always been a part of our lives and have been just a blessing to us. And, you know, if you can't do anything for anybody else, if you don't have money to lend them, or you don't have something to do for them, you know, to provide them with, you can pray. You know, you can pray for somebody, and, you know, you might not be able to reach them, or you might not have the words to say, but I'm a living example of the power of prayer, sir. And I know God has protected me beyond measure. And I have friends that, you know, people would know that. I have a friend who told me that, you know, he used to go out and party hard. And it was only years later he learned that every time he left his house, his mother would take the little oil and anoint his pillow and pray before he went out. I mean, he would get in some situations, racing car, fighting, you know, people coming after him with weapons and stuff. And it's only after one day his mother, he got saved and he had calmed down. He said, you know, his mother started him down and said, you know, every time you left this house to go out, I didn't try to bother fight you, because I know it wasn't make no sense trying to stop you. But I did the only thing I could do, and I prayed for you. And he was just, it was stunning, because he realized all the situations that he was in, the prayer had protected him, you know, so he was so grateful for that. So that's the greatest act of kindness. So pray for people. You know, that's the foundation of our community, prayer. You know, prayer and things. So that's what I'm grateful for.
Okay, that cultural one about the school. I'll say mine after, so you may have to listen on the radio if you leave it, since you have to leave us at 9.
No, I'll stay on, sir. I'll stay on.
Good.
I'll stay on.
Yes.
So over to you then.
Okay. Well, there were 3 that I'm going to mention. Number 1, Miss Daphne Orrett. In 1967, I had never left the Cayman Islands to go anywhere. One of my dreams was always to travel to Jamaica. And there was a time when there was a jamboree in Jamaica, but I didn't get the opportunity to go to that. So my first trip abroad to visit my parents in New York, I went along with Miss Daphne Orrett and her family. She took me along. That's the kind of Cayman kind that you had in those days, where, you know, someone else took you under their wings and traveled from here to Miami, and from Miami she delivered me to my parents outside of JFK airport.
Wow.
The other one was while in New York. I had a family member, Harris Bodden. He was a superintendent in a building on West 87th Street and Riverside Drive. And I used to go there and help him, with the incinerator, with the garbage, cleaning the building. And there was a couple, Puerto Rican husband and American wife, and got to know them. And she was asking me about school and different things, and introduced me about a program that was a federal funded program in New York called SEEK, Search for Education, Elevation, and Knowledge. It was a program where if you had a high school diploma, you were guaranteed to be able to attend some college or university in New York.
Wow.
And she worked in the administration at Brooklyn College in Brooklyn. Told me about the program. I applied for it, got accepted. Those days, I think you got $72 every fortnight. Every 2 weeks, you got a stipend of $72 to help you in terms of support.
Yes.
I got accepted into Hunter College, and basically the rest is history.
Wow.
The other one is a local person, the late Mr. Thomas Seymour.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas Seymour, when John Bostock was the chief immigration officer, I was first assistant chief immigration officer and then became deputy chief immigration officer. Mr. Bostock's door was open to Mr. Thomas Seymour. And he could go there at any time, didn't have to make an appointment, go in. Mr. Bostock was told Mr. Thomas was downstairs to see you. He made time to see Mr. Thomas.
Yeah.
When I became chief immigration officer, Mr. Thomas would come and see me. He would always dress for the occasion. He'd have his jacket and his tie on, and sometimes just to come and sit in my office and talk with me, talk about my family, encourage me and everything.
Wow.
And extremely, extremely grateful for that. And I was also happy to the fact that I could continue that tradition as chief immigration officer to make time to see Mr. Thomas Seymour. So those are the three of many that I can refer to as well. So, folks, we have to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
Study local and go far this spring. Want to start your bachelor's or associate degree, or just need a few classes to complete? Registration is now open for spring classes at UCCI. Scholarships are available for the spring semester, but you need to act now to meet the deadlines. Visit www.ucci.edu.ky to enroll now. Classes begin January 10th. Enroll by December 1st for a chance to win an iPad or a laptop.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. Cabinet Secretary Mr. Samuel Rose has agreed to stay a little bit longer with us, and there's a particular story that he told me off mic, and I want him to share that with us, as well. It has to do with culture and multiculturalism as well. Mr. Rose.
Yeah, so thank you, Mr. Connor. I come from a multicultural home. Obviously, my mom made a decision to raise us as Caymanians, and so I identify with all things Cayman, but I do acknowledge the contributions of Jamaica from a DNA perspective, and also from the impact that my family there has had on my life. And those who know history, my grandfather played a very integral role in the political shaping of Cayman, creating the first political party here, along with many others.
Yes.
So multiculturalism is a reality that is not going to change anytime soon. And it's kind of like a child. Sometimes people end up with a child, didn't necessarily plan on having a child, but when the child comes, you got to do something with it. And so now that we have this thing in our laps, multiculturalism, and what are we going to do about it? And so I think another caller pointed out the fact that Jamaica has such pride and such knowledge. If you ask, someone might not be able to read or write, but if you ask them who their national heroes are, they can rattle them all off for you, And anywhere in the world you go, you see that flag, and Jamaicans are celebrating their heritage and their culture. A lot of people don't appreciate the fact that a lot of what you see, there was a deliberate and intentional bringing together of minds, artistic minds, people like Rex Nettleford,
yes,
and Olive Lewin, and others who got together as artists and stuff and said, well, now that Jamaica's independent, how are we going to teach Jamaicans what our national identity is? So Rex Nettleford took dance, and some took folk music, and others took art, and they worked together as artists to shape. And then the government was fully behind that as well too. So shaping the cultural identity of Jamaica was not something that just happened.
Yes.
So these songs didn't come from the cane fields into the school rooms. There was a curation of all of this information, and then it was deliberately and intentionally taught to generations of Jamaican children who pass it on to their children. So there's an understanding, a mutual understanding, and a playing field there, a set of values, cultural values that are shared and understood, and everybody just falls in line and does their part, right? So that is a challenge for us as Caymanians. We can either say, well, everybody needs to learn what we have and then fold our arms and expect it to happen, or we proactively teach our children our values. And yes, the schools have a role to play, but again, I work in government, so I do, and you do understand that the squeaky wheel gets the grease,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And so the reason why we have speed bumps on roads is because people call in radio shows and they complain and they pound the tables and say we need to have speed bumps on these roads. The reason why speed limits are changed in certain areas is because people demand it, right? And so likewise, if there was a demand for people to be teaching Caymanian culture and heritage and identity in our school system and what have you, and if there was something that we were pushing from our own homes, it would happen a lot faster.
Yes,
and so, I make that point because this is also a day for reflection, a weekend for reflection. We want our people to think about where they come from, to tell your children your stories, because you can't take for granted that they know. And if you're not proactively telling them what their background is, what the history is, who used to make rope and who went to sea and the struggle that they came from, they just think that everything that they have here today, they think you had cell phones. They think that you had, all the conveniences and modernity.
Yes.
They don't know the sacrifices that people had to make to give them what they have.
Precisely.
And so I don't think we should be fearful. And I want to share this story to let Caymanians know we shouldn't be fearful of those who are coming in. It is our job to help to educate them and to be able to have informed conversations with confidence about who we are as Caymanian people and our identity. So they can come from any part of the world and they can start talking their nonsense about, oh, well, you all don't have this, and trust me, they don't run up on me with that. I try my best in a loving and diplomatic way to educate and open their eyes. And one of the pieces I've taken on is the music side. I made a decision to, from the perspective of music, there's no place else in the world that has the combination of instruments that we have. The kitchen band music is indigenous. Now, a lot of people don't like that word. They say, oh, well, we're not Arawaks or Caribs or whatever. No. Our music is indigenous. It came from whoever ended up here, and the fiddling style comes from the UK, from England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, that kind of a thing, the Celtic music. But that rhythm is African, right? Coming straight from Africa. It's a combination. And so, we can speak with confidence about our identity as Caymanians and these things. So many of you know I went to Triple C School. The Triple C School is a mission of the General Assemblies of the Church of God of the Cayman Islands, right? The Chapel Church of God in the Cayman Islands. It's an American-based system. It's a school my children went to, and I went to. And I remember asking my former principal, Mrs. Marjorie Ebanks, a lifelong passionate educator, just a wonderful woman who has had such an influence on hundreds of lives, thousands of lives, and her service on Education Council. And when I was on the school board, giving back some of the blessings that they gave to me, one night I had a conversation with her. I said, Mrs. Ebanks, I noticed that I remember there was a group of students from a predominantly Islamic country who always came to our school. There was this group, whenever people arrived in Ireland from that country, they ended up coming to Triple C School. Why did they choose us? It's a Christian school. She said, oh, well, when the first group came, they must have sat down amongst themselves and had a discussion about where they wanted to send their kids to school, because there was a major business interest that many of these nationals found themselves in Cayman working here. And so they came to me and said, we want to bring our children to the school, and as long as our employees come in, this will be the school we'll send them to. She said, I had a conversation with them. I said, do you know this is a Christian school? They said, yes, we're aware. She said, okay, and part of our curriculum requires children to take a Bible class. Yes, we're aware of that. We're okay with that. They said they would have to memorize Bible verses. They said, yeah. She said, we don't force conversion. That's not we don't try to, we're not going to require children to become. She said, yeah, we appreciate that, but they will have to participate. We can't exempt them. They said, yeah, we're fine with that. And she said, okay, well, can you tell me, I'm very interested to understand a bit more about this. She said, yeah, they said to her basically, you can teach them anything you want to teach them at your school. We appreciate the school because of the value system that they have. It's very much similar to our values and the morals, and so we want our children to be in an environment which is going to be not conflicting with anything from a moral perspective that we're teaching our children at home. But you can teach them anything about the Bible, because when they come home, we'll be teaching them about our faith. And that statement was such a statement of confidence in their parental skills and their intention to share their culture and heritage with their children, despite the fact they were in a foreign land, right? And they all came to Triple C. I remember we all had a number of them a number of these kids in our class, and became wonderful friends. And we've stayed in contact with some of them, etc. They moved on, but what struck me as a young parent was that these folks found themselves in another place, with a completely different religion, completely different society, completely different culture. Instead of lobbying for us to change our rules, they said, something, we're going to do our part to teach our children what we believe in and enforce that, right? And so what the lesson we can take away from that as Caymanians is that if we in our household, our individual homes, are not teaching our children, if we aren't, exposing them to our identity and explaining to them where they come from and teaching them these things, we can't expect anybody else to do it. It starts with us first in our homes, and then we build out from there. And yes, government has its part to do as well, but government is never going to have as much of a profound impact as someone at home does, So that's the challenge before us, I believe, Mr. Connor, as we face multiculturalism. I think we really have to do our best as Caymanians to proactively share the recipes. Billy, our good friend Mr. Billy McLaughlin from East End, they did something with Miss Marble's funeral program I've never seen done before. Do you remember the back of Miss Marble's funeral program was the recipe to her custard top cornbread, right?
Yes, yeah.
Sharing that knowledge, because yes, we have to identify and recognize that it's disappearing. And too often we hold on to these secrets. People got pictures, people have stories, people have information that will unlock mysteries. I never knew that Jeffrey and Joey's dad was a fiddler. I didn't know that. That's something I know. I've learned today. And so these secrets are all out there. When you get together with your family around that Thanksgiving meal on Sunday, talk about these things. Inform your children. And I'm so excited because Casey, my daughter, she's now 20, and believe it or not, and she's been away at school in the UK, but she's doing her semester from this term from home with all the COVID stuff. And she came to me and she said, "Dad, I want to get more involved, and I really want to be involved in Cayman Thanksgiving and really help to take it another direction." And I sat down and listened very carefully because my time it's rough trying to do anything else besides work these days. Yes. And she said, "Dad, I noticed when I went away, everybody was repping their, as they say in their lingo, Dad, everybody's repping their country hard. I mean, a Jamaican when you see a Jamaican, a Trini when you see a Trini, a Bajan, and everyone's like, they got their flags and they're repping the pride they have in their community, in their country. And I want our people to feel that about Cayman." And the smile that I tried not to smile too much because I didn't want her to think that I was distracted, but the pride that was welling up in me because she had that moment because of going away, where she now appreciates. And sometimes we wonder, we're doing all these things and we're talking to our kids about it, and they're rolling their eyes and they're like, "I don't want to eat that," and why do we have to do that? And the moment has come for her. It's clicked. And she realizes now that it's on them, the hunger. And as Mr. Carl Brown talked about, that generation wants to tap in. So we need to put the information there for them and for them to be able to tap in and to learn and grow.
Yep. Okay. So, Capsec, we're going to take our last commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Had a look at those investment options yet? Too busy. Look at today. Workout, breakfast, take the kids to school, back-to-back meetings, take Pepper to the vet, and she's apparently got allergies now, so... And that was all before 12. But you look relaxed.
That's because my money's as busy as you.
With RF, you can access the best in local and international investments to keep your money busy, so you can spend more time focusing on you. Contact us at rfgroup.com to find out more. RF, money at work.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
Water Authority Cayman wishes to advise its valued customers that its offices will close early today, Friday, 3rd December, for a staff function. In Grand Cayman, cashiers will close at 10:30 a.m. and customer service will close at 11:30 a.m. In Cayman Brac, the cashier will close at 12 p.m. and water deliveries will stop at 1 p.m. Any trucked water orders received before the office closure that are not delivered on Friday will be carried over tomorrow, Saturday, December 4th, or on Monday, 6th December. Customers in Cayman Brac are encouraged to plan ahead. The Water Authority appreciates the patience and understanding of its customers and apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It's my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning the Cabinet Secretary of the Cayman Islands, Mr. Samuel Rose, talking about Cayman Thanksgiving. He has given you the history of Cayman Thanksgiving, how it started, and so much that we have to be thankful for. Last year, I think this was 2020.
Yes, sir.
Talk about some of the many blessings that we can be thankful for, including the safe passage of another hurricane season, being exceedingly blessed during the pandemic, a warm and supportive population, our tropical climate, the beauty of our surroundings, our clean ocean, electricity, water, our strong faith, our diversity, an excellent healthcare system, the fact that we have democracy, some may say with a big D, some may say with a small d. I just added that part there. Good food, a place to sleep at night, safety, stronger educational system, young and old people whom we can be proud of, and so much more. And, you know, while those are things that many of us will be thankful for, there are some who don't have as much, as well. And what we could add to that is the fact that our willingness and our ability to provide for those who do not have, for giving voice to the voiceless, as well. Over to you, Capsec.
No, that's such an important point, sir. You know, we have always been generous people. And, in modern Cayman, we've had the advent of charities and philanthropy and, many NGOs popping up, filling important gaps, doing some incredible things in terms of feeding, providing food and supporting individuals, providing shelter for those who are in a crisis situation or facing domestic violence, etc. Things that, we didn't have access to in the past. Mm-hmm. But let us not take for granted the resilience of our community. We never had hunger as an issue in our community before, because long and short of it is, if you didn't have, somebody made sure that, make sure you carry something down there for them. Mm-hmm, that's set over there. And we were able, as little as Cayman society had available to them, we were able to absorb and to take care of ourselves. It was a collective sense of responsibility for each other as neighbors, and that's what made Cayman Cayman. And yes, as a population has exploded, and yes, I fear sometimes we have become victims of prosperity. Mm-hmm. That's the term I coined for it. And we can never forget where we come from. We can never forget our people. And I think a lot of times, because so much of our history is tied to I'll say financial poverty. People didn't have indoor toilets and stuff like that. No one likes to talk about those things and share, well, I had to sleep in a plant and trash bed and those kind of things. Nobody wants to kind of reflect on the hardships and when there was just no work available for a young man locally and stuff. That was, you waited for your call to go to sea so you could change the trajectory of your entire family. So a lot of those things are forgotten, but sadly, I think we've thrown the baby out with the bath water, because, along with that, that humility and that kind of lack of material things, there was a wealth of values, there was a wealth of knowledge, there was a wealth of culture. You know, the music and the musicians, the food, the cooking, the dress, the architecture, the boat making and boat building and ship building. You know, so many things that that made us who we are.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think we should fear it. We should embrace it. And I want to hit back on that. So it's not anyone else's job. The teachers coming from other Caribbean islands or from the UK or Canada, it's not their job to teach our children Caymanian culture. That is our job, to teach our children and our people Caymanian culture.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. And there was something that let me get the mic this way. Something that I wanted to share. You spoke about the skills and things that we did in Cayman, and there was an editorial in one of the in the Trade Winds newspaper again. I think it was the 1st of December. Was it 2nd of December 1966, and it speaks about the editorial, and then there was a PRO column. Mr. Ernest Patton was the public relations officer those days. We didn't have GIS,
right.
You know, and Miss Olive Miller, you know, hadn't started yet with that, but talks about the stories of the illustrated schooner, the Hustler, and the motor vessel, the Nonoka, which appeared in the press, brought back to many memories of the days when shipbuilding was a thriving industry in the Cayman Islands. In fact, from their earliest settlement, the islands could boast of producing some of the sturdiest sailing vessels in the world. Their stem and the stem posts, their ribs of timber, were made from solid mahogany grown and hewn from the forests of East End and North Side, hewn by axe and hand, transported by shoulder or drawn out by donkeys and horses to the seashore, cargoed to Georgetown in large canoes or cat boats. Keels, planking, and masts were of pitch pine brought in from the U.S. Gulf ports. Sails were real and lasting canvas, came from the United States, were cut and sewn by hand by expert Caymanian sailmakers, and were made to fit each particular type of vessel, whether ketch, sloop, schooner, or three-mast vessel. The laying of the keel of a vessel was as solemn as the laying of the foundation stone of a church or a school, and the day of the launching a day of rejoicing. To make the journey into the ocean an easy, one strip of the bodies of the thatched palm tree, whose leaves are rope until today is produced, were carefully laid from the ship's bow to the water's edge. Blocks and tackle were assembled, and tackles and all present for the launching took hold of the ropes as a most happy mood and pulled together to get yet another proud mistress of the sea perched with flags into the water. So this one talks about a ship building, heritage, and mentions, some of those, Captain Rail Borden and the Arches and the Hurlstons, who were involved in shipbuilding as well. That rich history that we have here in the Cayman Islands. But like the Cabinet Secretary has said, it is our responsibility, not someone else's responsibility, our responsibility to ensure that that knowledge, our history, is passed on to our our future generations, or our present and future generations as well. Last words for you, Capsec.
Hi, thank you again, Mr. Connor. Thank you again to Radio Cayman, to your listeners, for all the callers who called in today to express their gratitude and to remind us of the importance of this weekend. And it only means something if we create value around this. If it means something to us, it'll mean something to others. I believe in the law of attraction, and if we're positive and we're excited as Caymanian people about this, it's going to draw the attention of those who've come to live with us, and they're going to want to be a part of it as well too, and we should include them. And there are many people who have made Cayman their home. They know how to cook a good pot of Cayman style beef, stew turtle or a conch, what have you. They should be hosting others as well too, because this is about celebrating Caymanian heritage and our identity, and pushing back against this falsehood that we don't have any culture of our own and that everything that we have came from someplace else. That's not necessarily true. That is far from the truth. There are things that, because of our isolation and because of the insularity of this little community, that were just generated from our own community and shared here. So let us be proud of who we are. Let us not suffer from identity crisis. Let us pass that information on to our children. And the easiest and simplest way to do it, a good starting point, is over a nice meal this Sunday, the first Sunday in December, where we're cooking and we're catering and we're sharing, talking, and learning about where we come from, who we are as a people. And it's a good time to have a conversation about where we're going. But it all starts at home. That's the key. So enjoy your Thanksgiving, Cayman. Thank you again for welcoming this concept into your hearts, and it's only going to go as far as you take it, Cayman.
Capsec, I want to thank you. Thank you very much. Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers, as well as our history. We keep our history as well, but we need to spread it around. We need to ensure that everyone knows about our history as well. So I want to remind you, we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. What better time to do that than Cayman Thanksgiving this coming Sunday? So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care